as I look at this room of innovators, I see individuals who are constantly challenging their comfort zone and who aren't willing to accept good enough as an answer. But what about the rest of our industry? According to MarketScope, 87% of cataract procedures are still done with a monofocal IOL, while presbyopia-correcting IOLs are stuck at single-digit adoption. Now, iterative changes in lens designs have grown the channel modestly. However, those new lenses are really just cannibalizing share from prior generations, rather than growing the channel. So why are we stuck? And what is it going to take to finally deliver premium technology to the majority of patients rather than the minority? At AcuFocus, we think there are three primary ways in which the IC-8 lens is going to make a difference. First, addressing the gaps in monovision. Second, providing a broad refractive landing zone for surgeons for their IOL outcomes. And third, providing a quality of vision improvement option for patients with irregular corneas. In a 2017 surgeon survey, 45% of procedures were reported to be done with a monovision approach, be it mini, blended, or true monovision with monofocal IOLs. And MarketScope reports that 3 times the growth exists in monofocal or monovision as it does with presbyopia-correcting IOLs. Now, what if you had a lens that could capitalize on the benefits of monovision, improving vision without having to split light, but could avoid the weaknesses of monovision, being lack of binocularity, blurry zones, truncated range of vision, or lack of patient tolerance to anisometropia? The IC-8 lens is an extended depth of focus lens that uses small aperture optics to isolate and preserve focused light. It filters out scattered light that degrades image quality, and as you can see here, it provides an uninterrupted, high-quality, extended range of vision. Now, the lens is currently designed for a contralateral implantation with a monofocal IOL. So you could say that when patients receive this approach, they're getting a sort of premium extended monovision. They maintain excellent distance binocularity, they enjoy a broader range of vision than they could achieve with monofocal monovision, and all without blurry zones. Now, through the work that Dr. Warren Hill has shared with us, we know that 82% of patients present for cataract surgery with a diopter and a half of corneal astigmatism or less. We also know that toric IOLs represent a real addition to the surgeon's toolkit, but application can be difficult. There's a lot of opportunity for error, and there's increased expense that can exist for the practice. So for example, toric IOL powers are limited, so that means an exact correction is unlikely, and it's not going to account for surgically induced astigmatism. Ink marking is subjective and skill-based. Digital marking, expensive, but more reliable. And even if you have a perfect procedure and you get perfect alignment, that lens can still rotate after surgery. So what if you had a lens that could approach and compensate for a broad range of corneal astigmatism, be it pre-existing or surgically induced, that did not depend upon axis alignment? The IC-8 lens is a monofocal lens with an embedded mask, a circular mini ring that measures 3.2 millimeters in total diameter and has a central pinhole measuring 1.36 millimeters. Now, in our recent study published in JCRS last year, the surgeons reported that this lens could handle up to a diopter and a half of corneal astigmatism and still provide the same range of vision across the spectrum. Now, given that the lens design is symmetric, that means you do not have to worry about an alignment of an axis, and you don't have to also worry about misalignment of that same axis. The same study also showed that the lens can tolerate up to a diopter of missed refractive target. So what that means is that you can provide the patient with the same range of vision without having to be exact. Now, this represents an opportunity for surgeons to be able to have a broad refractive landing zone for their IOL outcomes, which mitigates the need for enhancements or potential lock-in procedures. Now, when we look at how the lens is being used outside the United States, we see it's being used in a variety of ways. Primarily, it's being used with a monofocal IOL in the first eye, and this is really the go-to procedure for our surgeons for post-refractive cases as well as irregular cornea patients. We're also seeing the lens used as an upgrade for patients that have had a monofocal in their first eye but really want to have more range of vision. Additionally, it's being used as a rescue for patients that have other EDOF lenses or trifocal lenses in their first eye, but they're dissatisfied with that result. Now, when a patient presents for surgery and they've got a significant amount of binocular corneal irregularity or astigmatism or aberrations, we are seeing surgeons increasingly use the lens binocularly with great results. And we have additional work being done in-house with our R&D team to optimize the lens design to allow for broad-based application of binocular small aperture optics. So let's circle back to where we were when we started. When it comes to the refractive marketplace, we believe that the IC8 represents a real and meaningful opportunity to finally deliver premium surgery to the majority of patients by building off of the success and the broad adoption of monovision and adding desirable characteristics such as a broad refractive landing zone, alignment-free astigmatism management, and dysphotopsia management for irregular cornea patients. We think that this lens actually represents a way to deliver to over half of the cataract population a premium result rather than settling for good enough. Thank you.